Hello YouTube. Okay, so this is part 3 of my videos on altars, and we'll talk about things like purpose altars and care. So, a purpose altar. This is continuation from part 1 and 2. After my rant in part 2, that was fun. Yes, I was begrudgingly looking at that Yankee Candle thing. If you saw the last video, you know what I mean. Anyway, a purpose altar is an altar that you construct for, well, a certain purpose. You could have a love altar. You could have a money altar. You could have an altar that is specifically for knowing how to talk right. No, just kidding. Specifically for baneful workings, all sorts of things. Money altars, I think, are more common than, at least, that I've ever heard people talk about freely. But so then you'd do all your money workings there. You'd keep that abundance flowing there. Any deities you're working with, or demons or spirits you're working with for money, will be worked with there. You'll be leaving any kind of things open that will bring abundance to you there. Any candles you're burning, any puppets you have, anything really, or herbs, anything having to do with money, anything you make for money work will be there and will be left there to charge. Some people work on their money altar daily and others weekly, and all sorts of things. And you do those within correspondence of planetary hours and other things and days. If you incorporate those things, it will be a little stronger if you do that. Things of that nature. You could do them for any purpose you need. Or say like a love altar, then same thing. I mean, it's where you work on things for love or self-love or whatever else. Healing spaces, anything you want. So those would be tended to like any other altar, and we're going to talk about altar care in a moment. Now, I think this was like the original thing, like how to care for your altar and cleanse it and such. Some good things to keep around. This is a little piece, but some sage. Sage is good to smoke your altar and smoke your implements upon your altar. You can also use cleansing waters to wash down your different statues and other things to your deity's preference and other things of that nature. If they have a specified method or different things that they'd like you to do to care for their altar, then that's fine. But otherwise, you can, keep it dusted, keep it clean, keep your implements charged and powerful, empowered. Keep everything respected. I mean, your altar is now like a living personification of your magic, if you have one, and you want to keep that flowing, keep the energy nice and potent, recycling itself and keeping all that negativity off of it. You don't want to put things on your altar that aren't magical or aren't pertaining to the altar. And I'm not going to show you mine because mine is a bit messy at the moment, and it's just kind of an everything thing. Maybe one day I will show an altar setup there. Actually, you did see where I work in one of my previous videos, the one where I talked about cascarilla powder, powdered eggshells and such. That was on my altar space, but you can keep it clean, keep it dusted. I'd like to wash things in moon water if I can. Also, of course, be attentive of what you're doing as well. Like, this is a selenite wand. Do not wash this in liquid. Do not. You don't have to wash absolutely everything in liquid. You can smoke things or give them some care or anything. Do not wash selenite. Do not put selenite in water. It's weak. It will dissolve. You will be sad. I promise you will be sad. Selenite's amazing, and I would hate for that to happen to anybody. It has never happened to me because I heard about it before I started working with selenite, but I would be heartbroken. Unless you're making like selenite water or selenite oil, then, that's the point. So, just know what you're doing. So, like I was also saying before, don't put things on it that aren't magical. Like, don't set a drink on it. Don't set food on it. Don't randomly put shit on it. It's a sacred space. Keep it sacred. Every now and then I like to take everything off of it and just completely like wipe it clean and make sure everything is dusted and such. And then I set everything back up new and fresh, and it gets the energy moving and recycled and stuff like that. It makes it a little bit more efficient. And I've got to do that. I might actually do that today. Sunday's a nice day for stuff like that. But that's a good thing to do every so often. You could make it a routine. You do that once a lunar cycle. Maybe you could do it on a full moon, or you could do it on maybe a new moon to start off your new setup. Also, different altar setups for various Sabbats and witchy holidays and observed holidays and various practices. You can set up your working altar for that kind of thing, or however else, if you're honoring a deity with it. Altars, there's a million different kinds of altars. And out of all of this, I don't want you to stress. I don't want you to stress on anything like this, that you absolutely have to have 1,000,005 altars, that you have to do it this way, you have to do it that way, or else it's not right. Don't think about that. I want you to be respectful, and I want you to do what feels right, and I want you to do what you can. So if that means having a shoebox with all of your stuff in there that you take out when you're going to do ritual or spell work, and then hiding it away, you do that. And you don't have to just do that if you're hiding it. If you don't have a space or like an applicable table or whatever else, do that. Use that. I mean, it's no big deal. As long as you're being respectful and it means everything to you and it gets the job done, you're fine. Don't let anybody tell you that you have to do things the way that they do the things. It's not cool to do that to people, and it's not okay to think that way. That is like my biggest piece of advice. I think I just knocked something over. Oh well. My biggest piece of advice to beginners is do not worry about what other people are doing. Don't worry about what other people are saying. Don't let somebody tell you your shit's wrong if it's working for you and it feels right to you. Because they're just insecure and they're confused and they don't understand that just because something works for them doesn't mean it works for everyone else. There's a difference between how things are and how they should be and all that nonsense. Like, people gotta realize that everyone's perception and perspective and intuition is a little bit different. And what feels right to them might not be the same for you. Like, there was a post in a demonology group on Facebook that was talking about King Belial. And so just real quick, Belial's candle color is yellow, right? And I commented on it and gave him my 2 cents, and everyone had their things, and we were all coming up with different kinds of colors and everything. And then somebody brought up like the classic thing is like, in the old times, like, we didn't have colored candles. Everything was white, which is the truth. And that is one reason why a good old white candle is a good substitution. If you're more left-hand path and you like black, then black is also a good substitution for any candle color you need. But don't stress over shit like that. It's nice to do correspondences. It's nice to do big things, go all out. But if you have to be simple, be simple. Sometimes less is more. And as long as it's getting the job done, it's good. I mean, I don't have a whole hell of a lot for all of my demons the way I would like to. And my connection is fine. It's great, in fact, and getting better all the time. So you don't have to have all the goddamn trimmings. So take a breath if you're caught up with it. Relax and understand that your small altar is just as good as Mary Jane's humongous, gigantic ritual room with several altars. It's just as good. And in fact, sometimes people just get too caught up in the aesthetic, and it doesn't work. So less is more, people. Don't get caught up in the weird shit. Keep it simple. Keep it focused. And you'll be fine. Okay. I think that I have said everything that I could think of off the top of my head about this topic. Thank you to the lovely individual who said this. I still can't find your comment, so but still, thank you very much. I said that with a lisp. I don't know why. My tongue got in the way. All right, but thank you very much. I appreciate you, and that is another thing. I appreciate you're always commenting and everything. Like, that's so cool. Like, feel free, continue. I hope you do. I enjoy talking to you. Anyway, okay, and also to talking to people. I sometimes forget to check my email, so I'm human. So I'm going to try to get to those shortly. Sorry about that. I think I got a couple emails waiting, but we'll see. So, all right. Things have been busy. Now, have a lovely day. I'm still going to be making more videos today of other things to talk about that aren't pertaining to this. If I think of anything else, I'll probably make a part 4 to this. Who knows? But, all right. So, have a lovely day, and blessed be to you and yours.